local news.
Police turn over the truth about an alleged car accident involving a mayor's aide, and tonight, one person has been cleared.
A body in Indiana may be the missing link in a Medina County murder mystery.
And the tribe's big hitter answers to charges of bad behavior. Now on CBS 19 News at 11.
This is CBS 19 News with Denise DePaula and Gretchen Carlson.
Good evening, everyone. Right now in Cleveland, the silence has been broken in that bizarre accident investigation.
The mayor's chief of staff has been cleared of any wrongdoing in what now appears to have been a ghost accident. Dave Barker joins us live from the scene.
Well, Denise and Gretchen, this is where it was supposed to have happened April 11th here on East 173rd and Harvard, right around this time of night, too. But today, word that accident just simply did not happen. Now, today, it was very obvious the stress, the emotion that LaVon Sheffield Turner has been going through over the past week and a half as she spoke out for the very first time.
I can't express how appreciative.
This had to hurt, over the past 11 days.
It did. It did. I'm not Teflon man. I mean, it hurts.
Later, she told us the hardest part of all of this is still not knowing why a police officer, whom she says she's never met, was apparently gunning for her.
For me, it's easier to deal with issues if I can understand why they happened.
According to Officer Deborah Simmons' accident report, this is what happened on April 11th. Sheffield Turner was driving a car here on the east side, struck another, injured a child, then tore up 5 citations, and with a burst of profanity threatened the officer's job. Sheffield Turner and now the police chief say it never happened.
Our information now positively eliminates Mrs. Turner's activity.
The chief of staff was cleared after forensic tests on her car, a search of phone records and witness interviews. So the investigation now turns to the officer.
When you meet her and look her in the eye, she is extremely convincing, and I would have no problem in having her present her evidence.
Sounds like you're covering your bases here. I mean, do you believe your client?
I do believe my client.
But Sheffield Turner says she knows the truth, but is not naive to the fact that she is the representative of a man who has fought some controversial battles with the police department.
And that is my job, to take bullets for my boss. That's my job.
You took a pretty big one here. You're going to keep taking them?
Yeah.
Now, as for Officer Simmons, she still has not spoken publicly about this, still on paid administrative leave tonight. Now, the official investigation ought to be over by the end of the week. Now, if it's determined that the officer made up this whole thing, she's in big trouble, obviously may lose her job. But since this is a crime to report a false accident, she ironically may also be heading to jail. Back to you, Gretchen.
All right, thanks very much, Dave. A bizarre mystery in Medina may be one step closer to being solved tonight, following a gruesome discovery in Indiana. Emmett Miller joins us live from Medina with the very latest. Emmett?
Gretchen, that discovery is the body of a 41-year-old man named Keith Nickens from East Cleveland. He was found on a country road just outside Indianapolis, badly burned with a gunshot wound to the back of the head. Police here in Medina County are hoping that this will help them solve the mystery of the bloody blazer and the Shaker Heights man who was driving it, Martin Thomas.
Very interested in spreading a very positive message of what you can do, what you can be if you put everything that you have and that you are into it.
This was Martin Thomas a few years ago, a Missouri clergyman with a musical family performing for the First Lady and the Vice President. This is 40-year-old Martin Thomas now.
He's arrested. He's on $1 million bond. He's in jail.
It began Thursday. Thomas was pulled over on I-71 in Medina County in this 95 Chevy Blazer. He had blood on his clothes and 2 handguns in the back seat. Thomas has a friend, 41-year-old Keith Nickens, picked him up that morning. They stopped at a rest area in Wayne County. When Thomas came back to the car, Nickens was gone, the blood was there, and so were the guns. Nickens' body was later found in Indiana, badly burned with a gunshot wound in the back of the head.
If he was thinking clearly, perhaps at the rest area he should have called the police.
Thomas's family moved to Shaker around a year ago. He remodeled homes. The kids have a singing contract. And now this.
My expectations are unbelievably high. I have high standards, moral standards.
Back live now. Thomas is in jail right now in Medina County on a $1 million bond on 2 weapons charges. Police in Indiana say that they've confirmed that Nickens' fingerprints match the fingerprints that were inside the Blazer. At this point, Thomas has not been charged with murder. Reporting live from Medina County, Emmett Miller, CBS 19 News.
Thanks, Emmett. A restless night for people who live along the Chagrin and Rocky Rivers. High water is threatening, but thank goodness no evacuations just yet. There has been a lot of water damage, though. It'll take days to clean up all the trees and debris left behind. And the heavy rain did a lot of damage to Bedford Heights apartment building. It was coming in the light fixtures, the ceiling, everywhere you looked, and the people who lived there just did the best they could to prevent more damage.
The roads are wet. And water in the bathroom, you can't keep up with it. Got a bunch of buckets.
Keeping up with it was nearly impossible. Tonight, no damage estimate yet, but it is sure to be in the thousands.
And tonight, Albert Bell is answering charges against him that he threw a baseball at a photographer taking his picture. He tells our Ronnie Duncan he's offering no apology, just advice not to stand so close to the action.
You can take photos, I mean, with these high-power lenses. I mean, he can sit right here in the dugout and take an up-close photo, you know, out in left field. I mean, this guy was standing almost behind.
That's the explanation that Albert Bell is offering for hitting a freelance sports photographer from Sports Illustrated. Albert Bell says it was a mistake, but then again, Albert offers no apology. Have you seen the photographer since, and have you taken any time to apologize?
No, I'm not going to apologize. No, I'm not.
Albert Bell has spoken, and he says it was no more than just a mistake. However, everyone is blowing this situation, as he says, way out of proportion.
The situation happened 3 weeks ago, and now the guy has already said he's not going to do anything. He's not going to press charges, but now they're pressuring him to press charges. So, you know, somebody out there has a vindictive of Albert Bell, but, you know, that's expected this year.
You know, Albert, some would say they expected a new change in your attitude.
Well, I'm not really concerned now. I mean, it seems like there's a no-win situation. Some people can like Albert Bell, some people can't. I mean, but as far as this year, I mean, I'm going to be out there every day, and they're just going to have to live with it.
Ronnie Duncan, CBS 19 News.
Accusations of racism at a Cuyahoga Falls apartment complex tonight. The owners and managers of Souter Place are being sued for allegedly refusing to rent to blacks. The Fair Housing Advocates Association says they found unequal treatment when they sent African-American testers to the apartments to try to rent.
The black tester had been told nothing is here, and if you had just been out here a couple of weeks ago, we'd have had something for you, but we don't have anything now. And then an hour later, White goes out and he's told, hey, you'll fit in quite well here, and we have several apartments available for you.
But apartment manager Bob Rasmussen says he treats all potential renters equally.
The way they're playing it up, I'm strictly against black, and I work with black people, so I got some of my best friends are black.
The lawsuit is being supported by the FHAA and the Justice Department.
When dozens of cats were found in a Sheffield home 2 weeks ago, the Animal Protective League moved quickly to get them out of there. But what about the elderly woman left behind? Tonight, Ben Holbert went looking for answers.
Mrs. Fields? Although she didn't answer, neighbors say that 86-year-old Sarah Fields still lives in this home littered with animal feces and filth. We showed you these pictures 2 weeks ago, vividly showing the squalid conditions. The Animal Protective League was successful in getting a court order to remove some 30 cats that Mrs. Fields affectionately called her friends.
Do you go out and get them, or people just...
No, they come up to my door. When I do, I feed them, and then they stay.
But who's looking out for this little old lady? A question we posed to Lorraine authorities.
I was contacted by Adult Services to report unsanitary conditions at the home of Mrs. Fields. You said it's a lie. I didn't write this. Joan Polinsky did.
However, Sue Turton told me that efforts are underway to help Mrs. Fields, but she claims that by law, the county can't discuss them without Fields' permission, and she refuses.
And with their pets and their home, and it's their home, we see what happens sometimes when you pull a person out of that environment and put them in what society calls a safe, healthy, normal environment. You know what happens? They die.
Mrs. Fields is scheduled in court on Thursday to answer charges of cruelty to animals. Ben Holbert, CBS 19 News.
Their neighbor is making them sick, and tonight some local families want them out. We'll tell you what folks in one community are doing to clear the air.
Fire sparks fear the world's worst nuclear accident could repeat itself.
And on the Health Beat tonight, an easy shot at keeping deadly diseases away from your kids.
And Carrie, we'd like another shot at springtime.
Well, we are going to see some warmer temperatures. I'll have the complete forecast in just a few minutes.
You're watching CBS 19 News.
How'd you like to live near a company that just had a 200-gallon chemical spill?
Well, some Akron folks don't have to imagine. They know exactly what it's like. And as Carolyn Costello shows us, tonight they're concerned about their health.
Southeast Akron residents like Helen Claytor are fuming over a recent chemical spill.
Well, my concerns, of course, is for people first. But I'm also very much interested in nature and conservation.
2 weeks ago, the Tradco company spilled 200 gallons of a chemical similar to lighter fluid. It seeped into a nearby creek just behind Claytor's home.
We have women that are pregnant in that area. What impact will that have?
Tonight, a special meeting was held in Akron where the EPA, the fire department, and a citizens group listened to residents' concerns.
It wasn't surprising. To me, I think the fumes and the stuff we live day to day is more harmful than what one spill will do.
Now, the Akron Fire Department, as well as the Emergency Planning Commission, says residents need not be too alarmed.
The hazmat team determined by the quantity of the material spilled and by the type of the material spilled, it did not pose a health hazard.
There were no Tradco representatives at tonight's meeting, but residents say they'll continue to fight this company until they address concerns like spill prevention and proper storage of chemicals. Carolyn Costello, CBS 19 News.
Fire sparked renewed fear today near the site of the world's worst ever nuclear accident, Chernobyl, Ukraine. Now, a cluster of abandoned villages just 6 miles from the nuclear reactor burned to the ground. It's believed families visiting grave sites accidentally started this fire. There's worry tonight that the fire may have spread radioactive particles throughout the area. Of course, it's been almost 10 years to the day since the nuclear accident happened.
More problems for the state's new auto e-check. One of the people inspecting cars is under investigation for allegedly soliciting a bribe. The State Highway Patrol says the inspector tried to bribe a motorist to pay him $50 after the person's car had failed the test several times. The motorist refused. An investigation into the incident has been ongoing since February.
Well, we thought we'd finally gotten rid of winter for good, but there was one good thing about our April snow. Carrie sets the record straight up next.
And they usually save people from flames, but these firefighters are working to save a little girl from something they can't control.
And we'll tell you why the airlines' big business means better bargains for you.
Tonight's stock market report is sponsored by Genuine Chevrolet.